Hi, let's talk about emotions. I think emotions gets a bad rap. I think many people get stuck in emotions, emotional habits and patterns, and I want to just shed some light on the notion of emotions and perhaps what we can do to get unstuck. Emotions in and of themselves are not biased. They don't have a preference at all. What do I mean by that? Well, I speak from firsthand experience. I've shared many times about the cosmic 2 by 4 that cracked me open, and in that moment an immense amount of anger came flowing out of my psyche. And while it was I remember distinctively as it was flowing out of me, I'm like, what's going on here? What are you? And the anger's like, I don't care. React to me any way you want. React to me any way you want. The feeling of emotion in and of itself has no pattern or habit. It's often our ego or our mind that develops a rapport with it. And we can be stuck in that rapport for decades. And that's what I want to talk about today. When our expectations bumps up against reality, we have emotional reactions. When our expectations of reality actually meet reality and there's a discrepancy, the result is an emotional reaction. So the emotion itself is a natural phenomenon associated with being a human being. It's a it's a way for us to tell ourselves our emotions are messengers there to tell us how our interaction with reality is going, so to speak. Hi, I'm Les Jensen, the founder of New Human Living. I love talking about emotions and the human psyche. I love talking about this human experience we're all having. And emotions, I think, are a really common place where we get stuck. And oftentimes, I don't think we realize just how stuck we are in these reactive patterns. When emotions come up, it's not the emotions themselves, they have no stigma, they have no bias of their own. It's our own mental habits, our own mental patterning that creates a repetitive reaction to emotions. And that reaction creates the same results, and we end up being stuck. So you can change that reactive pattern in an instant. You can change how you react to the feeling of particular emotions in an instant. It's a it's a matter of catching yourself before you drop into reaction. So here comes the emotion. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's whatever. And you feel it come up. And you like for a lot of people, anger is a very fearful emotion. They drop into fear when they feel anger, and then they go into a reactive pattern to try to control this situation. All right, let's all calm down, and we kind of put the squelch on whatever's happening, and we don't allow ourselves to feel the emotion because we've dropped into pattern. But the way you can break that is to be mindful, pay attention. When that emotion comes up, stop right there before you even get into a reactive pattern and just feel it, because the emotion has no bias. The emotion is just a feeling. What it means to you is up to you. And when you feel it, and for a lot of people, that can right there be an uncomfortable feeling. Right there, it can be an uncomfortable feeling. I don't like how I feel right now, but learn how to be comfortable feeling uncomfortable. In other words, just allow yourself to feel the feeling. Because whatever put the reactive pattern in place years ago, decades ago, is not necessarily the case now. The emotions themselves have no bias or posture. It's our habitual patterning. It's our habitual reactive patterns that can get us stuck with our emotions. You can actually evolve through your emotions to the point where you don't have any negative emotions so much showing up in your life. That's the whole idea. The emotions are messengers showing you how to do a course correction in how you perceive your life. It's always a pleasure spending time with you. I created the New Human Living radio show over a decade ago, and we've had hundreds of interviews from PhDs, from psychiatrists, from shamans, from healers. I mean, every single walk of life that you can imagine as it relates to the personal empowerment of the individual. I created this show to bring episodes to you to help you get a better sense of power in your own personal life. You know, a great thing you can do is when you go to commute to work, call up an episode on your phone and go to newhumanliving.com and click on the radio page, and it'll take you to the archives where there's hundreds of interviews, of very, very powerful interviews. And while you commute, you can learn about aspects of who you are and how you can possibly get more empowered with your life, to show up for yourself, to do those things that honor you, to give you a deeper sense of satisfaction and fulfillment in your life. Hey, thanks for spending this time with me. Always a pleasure. Until next time, thanks for listening.